Hey, it's Chris. Today we're gonna talk about what's on my Apple Watch Ultra. Basically, the apps I'm using that bring me value. Now, as a quick refresher of what makes the Apple Watch Ultra worth it for me would be number one, and most of all, the longer battery life. For me, that's worth it all on its own. Number two, the ruggedness and the unique look. And then there's also the bigger screen. I mean, just being able to have slightly larger tap targets is nice. And then by the time you throw in the better speakers and the upgraded mics, it's just a better all-around Apple Watch experience. So right now I'm using the Infograph watch face. I've complained about it in the past, but the thing is, it lets me see the most complications and information easiest all at once. Now from time to time, especially at night, I will switch over and use the Wayfinder watch face, which is exclusive to the Apple Watch Ultra, because of course it has this night mode here. And I guess, for like novelty's sake, it's kind of cool that there's the compass built in or whatever, but it's not really practical in a day-to-day setting for someone like me, so. Okay, so let me tell you about the 5 complications that I'm getting the most out of right now. Starting with the top one in the middle there with the check mark, that is Things. And if you can tell, it's got add students to FAQ. That's something for my productivity course. So it's great to have that information just front and center like that. And then also, if I need to add a new reminder, I can easily do that. Drink nitro coffee. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but in the last 45 days or so, I've lost about 15 pounds, probably closer to 20 now. And partly that is due to using the Lose It app, which is a calorie counting app. And that is this complication right here on the left-hand side of my watch. And essentially at a glance, it's letting me know how many calories I am under for my overall goal for the day. So if I tap on it, I can get a bigger view. I can also add a meal, and I can see my fat, carbs, and protein breakdown for the day as well. Now, I've also been getting into fitness a little bit more in the same time period using the next app, which is Fitness AI. But before we go on, I just have to say, in relation to the calorie counting app and the fitness app, you can't out-train a bad diet, as they say. So Lose It over here on the left and Fitness AI on the bottom here really do go hand in hand. I really love Fitness AI. It's sort of like my fitness coach, and I got the widget sitting right here on my phone too, so I can see my next workout. So when it's time to fire up a workout, I'll grab this app, and it's great to be able to track my heartbeat, my workouts, the sets, the reps, the time in between when you can rest, and it just keeps you on track. It's really helping me grow. It said I failed doing this particular exercise twice in a row, so they decrease the weight, and then I can get my progressive overload going over time. It's great to be able to see an animation of how everything works. You can put in the equipment that you have, and it will tailor make a perfect workout session for you. And then with this really nice rugged design, I don't have to worry about hitting it on a treadmill accidentally, dinging it up. So yeah, loving the durability. Now, the right circle on my complication is Waterminder, and at a glance, it shows me how many ounces of water or liquid I have had for the day. Now, I sort of pre-posted some of what I was gonna talk about in this video on social media, and people were making fun of me like, yeah, you really need to track your water, like I was dumb for tracking the water. But what they don't understand is I like to benchmark and track all the data and improve myself. It's not just about water. So these are all custom inputs. The blue buttons there are water, my water bottles and some cans of water that I drink. The green is the electrolytes that I drink. The yellow is the protein. I got some coffee that I can log. Part of the fun of having an Apple Watch, you're tracking your health, especially when it comes to activity, things like steps, right? Or when you're doing the elliptical or weightlifting, whatever it is. Now, up in the top left corner here is drafts, and this lets me automatically just very easily capture any ideas that I have when I might be away from my phone. So for instance, sometimes when I'm working out, I have an epiphany and I don't have my phone handy, and I'm able to just open up drafts while I got Fitness AI going and get my thought out of my head, don't lose it, tag it even, and then be able to revisit it later. So I mentioned the productivity course. I might as well let you know that pre-orders are now live for that right now, linked up down below, or you can go to thegreatonboarding.com and find the new productivity course there, learn all about it. It's designed to help you be more efficient and experience less burnout within the Apple ecosystem. And if you like saving money, there's a really nice early bird discount if you pre-order it before the official launch. But let me talk about some of the apps that live in my dock here. One important app in my dock is called Tally. And Tally is what I use to track things that other apps don't track. So these are categories that I completely made up here. Things like when I had fast food last, when I last had a headache, like when did I last change the furnace filter? You know, things like that are useful to know. I should add, I also have MindNode, the mind mapping app on my Apple Watch. And as you can see, I've got the whole outline for my productivity course right here. Super nice to just be able to see a whole outline of something all at a glance. I'm also using Do. That's the white app icon there with the check mark. Do is a really old school app. It's been around in the App Store for a long time. A lot of people forgot about it. I didn't forget about it though, because it keeps me on track. What I've got it set up to do is to import everything that I make as a reminder into Apple Reminders using Siri most of the time, take that out of Apple Reminders, stick it into Do, and then Do just keeps reminding the crap out of you until you remember to do whatever it is that you need to do. So you might be wondering, well, you use Tasks and Do through Siri? Well, yeah, I do. I usually keep tasks mostly for business related stuff, work stuff, and then kind of everything else, Siri/Do is kind of my catch-all. I've also got Spark on here for email. I'm not gonna show you my inbox because that would be really boring and who knows what's in there anyways. But it's nice to be able to just kind of see what's going on in my inbox, triage it a little bit if I need to. And then I've got Calzi here as well. You know, if you use a calculator for anything, school, work, this is such an upgrade over Apple's built-in calculator. Because aside from all the great functionality, it also has a complication which you can stick on your watch face and it will show you the last number that you calculated at a glance without having to open up the app again. You know, I do also have music and podcasts and Audible just on the dock as well, because more and more I've been disconnecting from my iPhone. That's one of the main reasons why I got this Apple Watch and wanted it to be the best Apple Watch experience I could have with the better battery and the bigger screen, et cetera, was so that I could potentially disconnect from my phone more often, leave it behind. I'm not disconnecting from a bunch of content. So, you know, if I'm working out, for instance, and I want to listen to something, I can still do that. By the way, Audible right now is super good on the Apple Watch. It used to be terrible, and now it's flawless in terms of how sleek and user-friendly it is. It's got all the features that I need, like sleep timer, I can control the playback speed, all of that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using my Apple Watch for at the moment. It's a pretty targeted experience. I try to kind of keep things to a minimum here and use it more by design rather than by default, if that makes sense. And I'm actually gonna have a whole section on the Apple Watch in the productivity course on how to use it productively, if you could believe it. So if you wanna pre-order that, it's linked up down below, or you can just go to thegreatonboarding.com and check it out there. Starting this week, we're really upgrading the Daily Tech newsletter. Thousands of people are signed up for this thing and they love it. It has a really high open rate. If you know anything about newsletters, 74% open rate is ridiculously good. So that means people are liking it. If you want to have apps and accessories for your Apple stuff delivered on autopilot, you don't have to go out and discover it. It just comes to you every Friday. Check that out in the description as well. And be sure to let me know what apps you're using on your Apple Watch Ultra or you'd like to see come to the Apple Watch Ultra down in the description. I'm really interested in that. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next video. Later.